which is that the county government's revenue raising process bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023 be now read a third time. I now put the question at order number 9, which is that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the county government's revenue raising process bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the county government's revenue raising process bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023, be now read a third time, and I also request the Honorable David Ochieng to second.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby second. Thank you.
Thank you. I now
move that the county government's revenue raising process bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023, be now read a third time, and I also request the Honorable David Ochieng to second.
Take the nearest seat.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby second.
Thank you. The walkway, take the nearest seat.
I now move that the county government's revenue raising process bill, National Assembly Bill number 11 of 2023, be now read a third time, and I also request the Honorable David Ochieng to second.
Take the nearest seat.
If you Speaker, I hereby second.
Thank you. The walkway, take the nearest seat.
I now move that the county government
is on his or her feet. I think this is what we were taught when we were in Safari Park.
Viability of public-private partnership (PPPs) in supporting the National Digital Superhighway and the Last Mile Connectivity Project, and whether the government has considered the same to supplement its efforts. 4. The measures put in place by the government to accelerate the implementation of the project for enhanced broadband access, particularly in rural and marginalized areas. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Members of that opinion say aye. Will those of
Senator Chimera
say nay? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on behalf of Senator Jackson Mandago on the status of purchase of wheat from Kenyan farmers. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries regarding the status of purchase of wheat from Kenyan farmers. In the statements, the committee should, number 1, provide a list of all licensed wheat millers in the country. Number 2, table the memorandum of understanding (MOU) between the Cereal Growers Association and the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development regarding the purchase of local wheat by millers and the price paid per bag for the year 2024. Number 3, table a report of quantities of wheat purchased from the local farmers as well as quantities imported by each miller, explaining why the millers did not fully absorb locally produced wheat before purchasing the quotas allocated for duty-free import. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, state whether the wheat imported above the quotas attracted duty, and if not, state how much in cash equivalent the government forfeited on duty in the year 2024. Senator Raphael on behalf of Senator Jackson Mandago. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The ayes have it.
Now, honorable senators will make intervention on these statements for a period not exceeding 30 minutes. So if you have an opportunity to speak, keep it short. At most 3 minutes. Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Order members, Ondo.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say my apologies because as I was intending to think through, Madam Kavindu was engaging me, so I'll let it pass. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity.
Senator Sifuna.
Which is that the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly.
Honorable Speaker, I was hoping that the Senator for
a third time.
was in Gishu
who I think is still the chairperson of the Committee on Health, was present in the House to listen to the statement by Senator Chute on the completion of Sololo Level 4 Hospital. Honorable Speaker, even here in Nairobi, because we have had a discussion in this committee on a facility that had been taken up under similar circumstances, Mama Margaret Kenyatta Hospital in Korogosho. It had been taken up by national government, Kenyatta National Hospital. We fought through the committee to have it handed back down to the county government of Nairobi. But ever since that happened, Honorable Speaker, thanks to the Health Committee, nothing has happened in that facility, and the people of Nairobi have not seen the benefit of returning that facility back to the county government. So I would want that when the Health Committee is dealing with the question of Sololo, they also give this House an update on where we are with operationalization and use of the facility called Mama Margaret Kenyatta Hospital in Korogosho. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Resolves to 1.
Senator Methu.
Hold morning sittings on Thursday, 13th March 2025.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And maybe even before I make a contribution on this statement that has been sought by Senator Hezena, I would want, Mr. Speaker, your guidance and clarification from yourself, Mr. Speaker, amongst the papers that were laid by the Leader of Majority. The last paper that he laid was a report of the Auditor General from the JM Karaoke Hospital, and JM Karaoke Hospital is in Nyandarua. But from the paper that was laid, it looks like JM Karaoke Hospital is a hospital in Nakuru. I think that was the last paper that the last thing that was laid. So maybe that could be corrected so that the record is straight. But this statement that has been said by Senator Hezena is spot on statement, Honorable Speaker. As our technology keeps growing and monetization, especially from the digital platforms, becomes a thing and an employment opportunity, especially for our young people, we must try and do a line, a very significant line, Honorable Speaker, of protecting our children against online predators, Honorable Speaker. And I'm very happy, Honorable Speaker, that she has sought to understand how far and how much, especially the Data Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya, can be able to verify that the data that is going out, the only consumption that is going out, Honorable Speaker, is of content that is of people who have reached the consent age, Honorable Speaker, so that our children do not fall prey to online predators who want to take advantage of people who cannot be able to make informed decisions and circulate content that should not be able to, that should not go out, Honorable Speaker. And I think the Committee on ICT has met in this particular statement, and more importantly, they must also establish where, because our laws will keep changing, our laws will keep making them better, because we are lawmaking House, Honorable Speaker. Tell us whether there is any deficiency in terms of protecting our children against online predators, because monetization is not a very old form of employment, especially for our young people. We want our people to continue using internet to make money. Yes, that's a very good thing, but we cannot just leave it open, Honorable Speaker, such that anybody can just upload content of a kid and the kid is not even aware that this is content that is going out, and there is no protection, and there is no way government can be able to protect such a kid, Honorable Speaker. So the Communication Authority of Kenya must, when they appear before the committee, and I can see members of that committee, Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether Senator Osotsi is still a member of that particular committee, but I think Senator Osotsi, because your chair is not here, this is something that we must be able to understand from the Communication Authority of Kenya.
Minority, and in that capacity, Honorable Speaker, I second.
Give the Senator 1 minute.
By my counterpart on the other.
Whether they have the guidelines that they are using, especially on TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter, so that they can be able to protect the content that is going out, such that the child protection framework is there so that you can protect our children. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for, is that Barongo? Honorable Barongo.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to comment on two statements. One by Senator Hezena on data protection rights, and another one by Senator Seki on ICT development in this country. Mr. Speaker, I participated in developing the Data Protection Act, which Senator Zena was referring to. But I want to say the challenge we are having with the Office of Data Protection Commissioner is because the Act has not been properly and effectively implemented. And I think that is a matter that should be looked into deeply by the ICT committee that will be looking into this matter. And Mr. Speaker, I think one of the things I have observed, I'm no longer in the ICT committee, Mr. Speaker, because I was very frustrated as a member of the ICT committee, given that my background is in the ICT sector. Everyone in this ministry is clueless, Mr. Speaker. And that one I have to say, starting from the Communication Authority to the ministry, everywhere, the ICT Authority, and I think we cannot develop in terms of ICT if we have people who are running this ministry or sectors in this ministry who do not understand technology itself. Mr. Speaker, Communication Authority, for instance, is headed by a journalist. Ministry of ICT is headed by people who have no clue on ICT. I think that's the starting point, Mr. Speaker. We saw this country made strides in ICT when Bitang and Demo was in charge of that ministry. I think it's a high time we have to place people who are qualified, who are experienced in the sector to run the institution under ICT. Because if you listen to the two questions members have asked, and from my understanding of the ministry, there is a serious competence issue in this ministry, Mr. Speaker. When we talk about matters of Office of the Data Protection Commission, I mean, Mr. Speaker, we have a tendency of giving all the jobs to lawyers. We give all the jobs to lawyers, even jobs which require technical input. The Office of the Data Protection Commissioner should ideally be someone who understands technology, ICT, not a lawyer.
The practice of this House,
that is the problem. If you look at CA performed its role better when this gentleman, I've forgotten the name, Wangusi, was in charge.
Counties. Honorable Speaker, this chance around was a chance for County and other 5 counties.
Mr. Speaker, a journalist cannot understand detailed information. He cannot understand spectrum management. He cannot understand issues of transmission of signals and all that stuff. I think it's a high time the appointing authority looked deeply into this ministry so that we have the relevant people to be in charge of the sectors in this ministry and even the parent ministry so that we deliver the technology to the people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to associate myself with the statement by Senator Zena and Senator Seki, and I ask the ICT committee, which, Mr. Speaker, I left ICT committee because that committee is on the verge of death because of leadership. And I thought the majority leader will do better by getting the right leadership to lead that committee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important committee that will require strong leadership.
Health, labor, and trade, industry and cooperatives.
You know, Mr. Speaker,
the Deputy
Party Leader of ODM has made a very
regional development,
serious allegation against the committee of this House. And you know, statement of fact, may I know, because he has been a member. You see, when an alligator leaves the river and tells you that the crocodile is sick, you must listen to the alligator. I want to know why the senator also would actually say that the committee on the ICT is at the verge of death Whereas the chairman of that committee, even when the committees were disbanded, he has been reinstated and has been reinstated on merit because I was the whip on the merit. So I think he has been reinstated on merit. So I want to know from Senator Osotsi why he would want to make such a serious allegation. And what proof you would have to that effect?
Since the term had lapsed, they had not
Senator
vice chairs,
Osotsi.
and they are not ready to hold
Senator Osotsi, just take his seat.
Chairs and vice chairs. Two,
Senator
is to
Osotsi,
limit our elections of parliamentary committees to
the
only
senators
the chairs and vice chairs
elected
who are
and nominated,
by the reconstitution of
as
committees,
far
because they are chairs, for
as
instance,
placing
of the
them
committee
in
of,
committees or
industry,
leadership positions,
energy,
they are equal.
trade, industry and cooperatives, whose chairs were able to be moved.
And no individual senator can discuss
Do not have substantive chairs. The same
the
with the
competence or
committees
otherwise
on tourism and wildlife,
of the other.
regional development, education.
And you are fully aware
The
that
vice
you
chair
cannot
again,
discuss because that borders on discussing the conduct
be expected to hold
of a
elections
colleague.
for those vice chairs. And the
And you know
impact
that
of
is
for all the other chairs
out
is that
of order.
vice chairs is that
So
we shall not
kindly
have elections.
refrain from that line of an argument
Chairs and vice chairs.
and conclude your
Honorable
remarks.
Speaker, I heard you asking the Honorable Udo to go back to his usual seat.
Mr. Speaker, I apologize
It is only
to that
Honorable Udo
extent,
and members of the
but
Public Affairs
Senator
Committee
Methu
who would understand
brought a
why
statement before the ICT committee
Udo
on a very important matter
from one point to the
of
other.
drop calls.
Because I have seen
And that statement was not given the maximum justice it needed. And it actually disappeared in thin air. So you have an answer on that matter already, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go and discuss the competence of the